Work smart. Date your boss. Office relationships are the best. Debate statement of the day is love knows no boundaries. Workplace dating should be normalized. The gross team that supports this gross statement is Hersey and Chow, who probably have their lunch in the toilet as well. And on the very sane side, we have Ling Yi and I, who say it's disgusting. Please do not date your co-workers or your boss. Okay, each team will have 5 minutes to present their argument, and we will let them go first because we save the best for last.
Colleagues, friends, and Ling Yi. Today we debate whether workplace dating should be normalized. My side, the proposition stance affirm that it should. Look at us, unmarried millennials, with the exception of Auntie Ling Yi. In a timeline where birth rates in Singapore are declining and society is overworking, why else do you think Singapore's population is on the verge of decline? When you spend more hours in a day at work, allowing workplace dating only allows society a higher probability of building a family-first society. Here are some other reasons why. Increased job notification. Employees in happy relationship tend to be more satisfied with their jobs, leading to higher retention rates. Improve employee morale. Positive relationship at work can boost morale, fostering a more engaged workforce. Better work-life balance. Singapore's long working hours make the office a natural place to form connections, helping employees maintain a balanced personal and professional life. Encouraging collaborations. Romantic partners who work together may collaborate better and increase overall workplace efficiency. Retention of talent. Banning workplace relationship may force employees to quit when they fall in love, leading to loss of talent. Cultural and social consideration. Point number next, modernization of workplace culture. Singapore is an international hub with diverse workplace cultures, and many global firms allow workplace relationship. So why not us? Acceptance of individual rights. Employees should have the right to form consensual relationship without interference from employers as long as they do their work. Why not? Strong workplace friendships already exist, so why not a relationship? Many colleagues already form strong bonds. Restricting romantic relationship is inconsistent. So if I can be friends after work, why I cannot be lovers after work? Aligns with Asian family values. Singapore emphasizes marriage and family, and many successful marriages begin at work. Encourage social mobility. Workplace relationship can connect individuals from different socio-economic backgrounds, broadening opportunities. Because why? At the workplace, you meet different people from different backgrounds. Especially if you are a 9-to-5. I don't know. I can't relate. I have no job. That's why I'm not in a relationship. If I had a colleague and a work environment, I maybe meet more people. Okay, I will now leave it to Chow to finish off her parts.
Amazing. I strongly agree with everything that he has said, and for now I would also like to... What is wrong with you? I have not even said anything at all. Sure, racist. I also want to talk about the different areas in which it is beneficial to different groups of people. So let's start with the individuals. So he did talk about job satisfaction, but how exactly is that so? So in the survey done among Singaporeans, 79% of respondents, they find non-monetary benefits critical to choosing an employer. So having good workplace relationships with their managers and their colleagues actually came up as one of the most important factors. So people are looking at the culture that they have in these workplace environments and whether or not they can make friends and foster different types of relationships. So we are also looking at enhanced career growth. So many times you will always look towards your colleagues and your friends for people to vouch for you, right? I know you would love to vouch for me too. I know, I can tell from your face. Stop flirting with me. So this is also something that you can do when you are in a relationship with people.
Are we normalizing it?
Whoa, we are actually, but I think it has to be
but
consensual.
She won't poop you.
Yeah.
Please!
So when it comes to enhancing your career growth, I feel like the people who know best about the work that you do will be, of course, people that you have tighter connections with, including your friends and your relationships. So they are able to vouch for you when you move between different jobs. What is wrong with breaking up and getting into a new relationship, Ling Yi? And we are also looking at improved well-being overall, because a supportive work environment can really contribute contribute to better mental and emotional health. And this is definitely something that we've been focusing on in the recent years. You can really tell by the government initiatives to care about mental and emotional health. This has really surfaced as one of the top priorities in Singapore. So when you have relationships in the workplace, this can also create a more supportive environment. And you definitely will get higher quality relationships because these are relationships that have been tested by work environments. And you know how work is. You are put through various scenarios where you have to meet people that you don't like, sometimes people that really test your patience, test your attitudes. And when you are exposed to different environments like this, it really trains you to become a better person and it tests the durability of your relationship. So you have to work as a team to overcome them. And that itself is already something that will benefit the relationship. We're also talking about increased productivity in the workplace because people will be more focused on their jobs if they know that they have both benefits from them. If you are in a relationship, you care about your partner's job also, right? Right?
No.
You don't care about your partner enough. You know why? Because you don't date in your workplace, so you don't care about them enough.
Yes.
Huh?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
You weren't even paying attention the entire time she's talking.
I admit I was zoning out.
Yes.
Oh, our turn.
Woo!
Relationship bias is inevitable. Bias
Go on,
in the
can you say that
workplace
again?
is human nature, whether we
It's
like it or
inevitable.
not. Inevitable. We naturally prefer to work with, support and share resources with those who we like, which I agree with you.
Yep.
But now imagine being a boss, which I am, and dating someone in the office. Would I be more inclined to provide them with better opportunities, resources, or even leniency? Absolutely. And if we have a fight, would I be subconsciously be colder or less cooperative? Yes. While
Unprofessional.
professionalism is expected, can we guarantee complete objectivity? No, because humans are, humans. And the moment personal emotions interfere with work decisions, professionalism is compromised.
Exactly.
Second point. We're not debating whether it's good or bad. We are debating whether it should be normalized.
Yeah.
Okay. The argument here isn't whether workplace relationships should exist, because they already do, but whether they should be normalized. And the answer is no. If you already agree with me that workplace dating shouldn't be normalized, then there's nothing to discuss. Yeah. But if you disagree and think it should be normalized, even better, because love thrives on obstacles. If the thrill of secrecy, the shared challenge of navigating an office romance, and the common goal of keeping it under as a secret actually will strengthen the relationship.
Yeah.
Okay? So by keeping workplace dating a taboo, we are adding an element of excitement that makes love even stronger.
Yes.
Yes.
Who has time for that?
And-
Normalize it, do it in
and
secrecy.
colleagues bond over what? Office gossip.
Yeah.
So if workplace dating is normalized, what is there left to gossip about?
Who
It's
do you
a
work
normal
with? What kind
thing.
of boss are you?
Huh?
Why is this your
But
work environment?
normalizing workplace dating, you are taking away a very big joy from these office gossipers.
gossip?
That's sad.
Since we spend
So
the
you
most of
encourage office
hours
gossips.
What a
of
toxic
our
boss.
lives
Don't work for
in the
one banana.
workplace, I demand we have some form of entertainment, toxic or not. Okay? Last point.
Last one.
Yeah, the workplace needs boundaries. Okay, normalizing workplace dating create unnecessary anxiety for colleagues. People might start thinking they're dating. Does that mean they will cover up each other's mistakes? Will I be the scapegoat, or are they getting some special treatment? And let's be honest, some might even wonder, are they having sex after office hours on my chair?
Yeah, on
Which
the
I
table.
often wonder.
have
Get
done.
the security guard to do the job.
Workplace
Put
boundaries
CCTV.
exist for a reason, and
So
blurring
avoidable.
them can create discomfort, distrust, and even chaos.
What an emotional argument.
Okay, first, distraction. Romantic involvement may distract from work responsibilities and productivity. Number next, power dynamics. Relationships with the boss can create
Stealing your
perceived or
life.
real power imbalances. Next, job security. If the relationship ends, it may put your job at risk. Number next, team morale. Other team members may feel uncomfortable or alienated. Number next,
I've read this on
confidentiality
ChatGPT.
issues. Yes, sharing personal life can lead to breaching work-related confidentiality. Next, legal issues. Potential for harassment claims like what child might do to me after this. You know?
True.
Yeah. Next, difficulty separating personal and professional life, like she mentioned. Next, jealousy and resentment. Co-workers may become jealous of your relationship. Next, if the relationship goes sour, interactions can become uncomfortable. Next, lack of privacy. Your personal life may become more public than you intended. Next, bias in evaluation. Others may perceive unfair treatment in performance performance evaluations. Next, reputation damage. A failed relationship can impact both personal and professional reputations. Next, disruption of work environment. Romantic relationships can create tension and conflict in the workplace. Next, pressure to perform, which I face in bed all the time. There may be added pressure to perform to avoid appearing as if you're receiving undue favoritism. Next, changes in behavior. You may find yourself changing how you act at work to accommodate the relationship. Next, difficulties in future relationships. Future romantic prospects may be affected by past workplace relationships. I mean, why would you want to date someone if like they're working with their ex and you see them every day, right? Exhaustion from balancing roles. Juggling professional and personal roles can be emotionally taxing. It's very tiring. Next, navigating breakups. If the relationship ends, you have to face the breakup daily in the workplace, and I know someone that had a mental breakdown because of this. Company policies. Many companies have policies against workplace relationships that can lead to disciplinary actions. Next, risk of resentment. A power imbalance can result in resentment, affecting both individuals' work lives. Next, lack of support outside of work, which she covered. Next, risk of ethical dilemmas. Obstacle can arise when personal feelings conflict with professional obligations. Next, limited relationship exploration. You might miss out on meeting others outside your work environment. Next, financial stability. If one partner's job is affected by the relationship, it can affect financial well-being of the couple. Next, long-term consequences. The repercussions of dating a co-worker can last well beyond the relationship itself. Next, you might turn down a better job offer because your partner or you cannot bear to be apart from each other, which is dumb as why would you do that to yourself? And next, you might be pressured to date your boss if they normalize this. If you say no, if your boss wants to date you and you say no, then you gonna fired what? So obviously you have to say, oh yeah, okay, let's give it a try if we normalize workplace dating. Correct? So no.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Is that what happened to you, Lingy?
What? Yeah, she pressured
No,
all the
she
interns.
That's why
made
all the
me
boys
realize.
left. Wow, banana.
Oh my goodness.
First of all, nobody said dating the boss. When we say workplace dating, it can also be across departments. I feel while we are saying that workplace dating should be normalized, there should also be strategies put in place and legalities that be put in place such that hierarchy cross dating is not allowed.
That's
So
true.
you're discriminating lah. If you're higher up, then you cannot date.
It's called
the-
protecting.
Yeah, there are some rules to the
Correct.
exception, okay?
So you
now
can
we are
only
talking
date someone.
boundaries.
So
Wow.
the associate can date associate.
The
And-
only
but
way
you cannot date up or down.
we can create rules is if it's already normalized to begin with. Then legislations can come in and people can actually create boundaries that protect people for it.
So you want my tax money
But
to go
it's-
to PAP
we
so
never
they can
say
sit
that
down
it's
and say,
not allowed,
intern
We
cannot
never
date
say
I'm
boss.
it's
so
not
sorry, I don't
allowed,
believe we're allowed to mention government,
I
right?
don't-
Just
we're
now
not
we were
even talking about
it.
politics.
We mentioned
like,
government
wow.
a lot the last one.
They cut it out.
P-
And
eh,
just
P-
now you guys
P-
talk a lot about how having family roles be complicated in a workplace because you don't know how to put aside. Do you know how efficient a family is if the wife and husband goes to the same office and then sends the kids to the same daycare at the same building? They will have the most
Yeah.
healthy work-life balance
No,
as a family.
You are seeing each other 24/7. How is that
Exactly.
healthy? Not to mention
To-
if the company bankrupt, then you both are fired.
Yeah.
You know what? What is a
double
unified
risk.
family when you're both struggling in the same window of time?
Then
What?
it's double
How is that a good
struggle.
point?
Yeah.
Well, earlier, I think you also mentioned a lot. Stop winking at me. Well, you did mention a lot of points about how relationship breakups can be affecting you after you are emotionally and mentally tested, right? But this can happen in relationships that are beyond the workplace as well. So that point doesn't really.
Of course
hold
it does
true.
because it increases the chances of you bumping into
Yeah.
your ex if
Yeah,
you work at the
but-
same place. And I know a guy who actually did date someone in the workplace, and after they broke up, he had a mental breakdown. He was taking things and throwing it around in his office, and everyone on the
That
floor
equates
was
sounds like
scared.
an individual,
Temper,
yeah.
not necessarily a
It's true.
standard.
Well,
across
on the
board.
flip side, if we're talking about examples, then I know a couple that actually dated in the workplace, and after they broke up, the guy went on to date another girl in the same workplace.
Oh my goodness.
So,
yeah, isn't
Frown
that
upon,
horrible?
frown
Well,
upon.
They are perfectly happy, and the couple actually just attended the first girl's wedding, and they have been totally fine
Yeah,
since.
So if we're talking about individual examples, there are individual
Yeah.
examples every scenario.
Sample size.
Okay, but most people after breakups don't come with an exit package, unlike quitting. Okay, what happens when the romance ends? When you date somebody in the office, you are gonna bump into that person, and most people, I'm saying, since we're not talking about individualism, right? Most people they don't keep in touch after they break up, or they need a time to not see each other. They
Yes,
need
to
the cold
properly
time.
heal.
And then if you're dating in the office, you can't choose that. You are
Yeah.
forced to go into the office and see each other's face.
Yes.
Yeah,
And it just
the
reopens the wound.
Anger will come back.
I
Don't
think-
you have an ex that you hate? I can think of 10 right now.
Whoa.
I can think of 20.
I've never been in a relationship.
Oh.
Because you know why?
What did
I'm
you call us
unemployed.
last night? Oh.
Okay.
Yep.
See, if I was in an employment, perhaps
Yeah.
I would be dating.
Yeah,
But
this is absolutely right because, well, dating in the office actually makes it more accessible to people. And I think in Singapore especially, this is so important because we have great population concerns, right? A lot of them come down to whether or not you can even start dating or find time for dating. In modern dating era, people are experiencing dating fatigue, which is the constant swiping on phones. They're meeting people going on dates that they're very, very tired about. But instead, if you had a workplace that fosters an environment that creates relationships, it would make it a lot more convenient for people to date. So respondents to an Asian boss survey in
Wait, sorry,
Singapore,
how is it more convenient?
Yeah.
Are you guys dating on company time? It doesn't
Yeah.
help
Oh my
the
goodness.
relationship
you
at
are
all.
interacting on company time because you have to work together already.
You are interacting for company matters. That doesn't help your relationship
Yeah.
at all.
But
I'll be
for-
very
for
pissed
the
off if
relationship
somebody
to
during
grow.
a meeting 20% of the time they're flirting.
But-
yeah, exactly.
you are spending 9 to 14 hours in a day of your awakened hours, of which 9 of those hours are taken away from you getting to know people.
Correct.
Work is work. What we're saying is after the 9 to 5 is when the dating can happen.
It's an opportunity
yeah,
to meet people.
exactly.
Yeah.
That's when it happens. Do it after your 9 to 5. So
But
dating in a
it's an
workplace has
opportunity to
absolutely
meet
no
people.
effect.
Opportunities to meet people are expanded by the work that you have. So, for example, I'm gonna use myself right now. I have been only dating people that I meet at work, and because of the work because I don't have time to carve out from my day just for dating. So
Okay.
say X number of hours a day, right? I just cannot afford to cover a portion of that X, right? For dating. Therefore, I only meet people at work. Thankfully for me, I have the opportunities to meet people from different parts of my work because freelance life.
No, I don't think
Yes.
we can use our jobs as a good example
think
because when we
freelance
say
is a
workplace, we
small
really
part.
mean like an office job, like you
No,
are
that's
tied
not
to
true.
that building.
They didn't
that's
say 9 to
true.
5
You can't
workplace.
say- you
They
can't
said
say-
workplace.
No, she says
Am
workplace
I
in a
not
sense that
working?
media industry.
Well,
in that sense,
for
I
example-
think honestly lawyers should date lawyers because they do understand their
And they
schedule.
do.
Yeah, but
And they
to
do,
date
yeah.
in the same law firm, that's weird. For me, that means the same workplace. To date
People
in the
do
same
that.
law firm.
Well,
People
if there's
do
no
that.
legal grounds for a ban, there are no specific laws in Singapore prohibiting workplace
Exactly.
relationship,
We're not
making
saying
such
it should
bans
be banned.
unnecessary.
We're
No,
not
some
saying it's
companies-
banned
some
because it
companies
already
have
happens.
policies
We're
that
saying it
say
shouldn't be
no.
normalized.
I feel like if we should not normalize a certain type of relationship, we should not normalize any type of relationship. So we shouldn't be friends as well at the workplace.
I cannot be. Friends and
cannot be.
yeah, friends and relationship couples are very different. Friendship,
Yeah.
the beauty of friendship is that you have boundaries.
So if friends
Yes.
fight in the workplace, then friends also cannot do the work anymore, right? Because there's resentment, right? There's
No,
an
it's
anger
easier
that
to
is attached, right?
compartmentalize.
That is true.
It's
How
different.
many
It's
friendships
different.
fail at the workplace as well?
It is
Work
true.
gossips, for example,
Yes.
happens
Yes.
because of toxic friendships
Yes,
within
exactly.
the workplace.
But the
so if you want to
nature-
ban one relationship, you got to ban all.
Exactly.
No, friendship
No,
and
it has
relationship
context.
are
Context
different.
is-
Yes.
matters.
That's why that we have friends who are we can have many friends who we are friends with for a long time, but we don't really have a lot of love interest for a long time at the same time. So friendships exist because they have boundaries.
Your
You can
Honor,
pull
if anything,
away
if anything,
when
if-
you
hold on,
want.
I got something to say. If
Okay.
anything, in a relationship, right, it only affects 2 people when that relationship has soured. But in a group friendship circle, it involves 6 catty people in the office space, making a work environment more toxic than the relationship alone based on friendship. that
So
is true.
basically, what you're talking about is monogamy in a relationship should be allowed in a workplace. But if it's polyamory, then no, because it's a multiple people lah.
I never
if it goes
done
sour,
this.
it's like 6 people, right?
Oh.
Is that what you're saying?
What are you going on about?
I
Your
get
Honor,
what you're
she-
trying to say.
Right?
I get.
You get it, right?
I get it what you're
Yeah.
trying to say.
She gets it, but she still say,
Means right.
Means what? Means what, dear Ling Yi? The point is only valid if you can regurgitate it.
Means right. For example, if whatever you were saying was sound, then that means poly should be
Technique.
okay, but mono should not. Or the other way around. One of them. The other way around. The other way around.
She got it. She got it.
I
she
got it.
She
I
got
got
it.
Invalid.
Yeah.
Your Honor, that point
Also,
is invalid.
friendships and relationships are very different because if, let's say, I mean, Chow and I are friends, right, and we got into a fight and I bump into her at the radio level because she's at 987, I'm at class, then I'd be like, yeah, okay, fine. But like, if we were in a relationship and I
No,
was just thinking,
but
oh my
what
god,
if
I
you
let
saw
her
me-
explore the insides of my cave last night and then we had a big quarrel about that. Like, do not even let me see your face anymore. That is a whole different argument.
Yeah,
you know?
that's horrible.
No,
Yeah.
but I have seen friendships that ended really badly as well. And who's to say that if you bumped into me on the radio level, we would not be actually fighting because we don't know how badly this friendship could
And
have
don't
ended.
you wish, like, if you bumped into me, you'd be like, oh my god, I wish I didn't see her? Can you imagine if,
If
you
we
were in
were
a relationship,
dating?
you wouldn't want to see the other person's face.
Another
so
point.
I would
love
love
to see you again.
Another point
If we
number
had a
next,
fight,
I would
I
like
would
to
love
raise
to
up.
see you every day.
And another point number next, I would like to bring up. The motion states workplace dating should be normalized. One of the things I would like to bring up is the normalizing also means that it just allows for transparency. It does not mean that we are encouraging everyone to date. It allows for transparency. Allowing relationships with clear guidelines prevents secrecy and potential ethical breaches at the workplace. So when you say we will not normalize anything, people are human beings. People will still hook up if they want to. People will
It's
still
true.
date if they want
Correct.
to. Allowing the normalization makes it clear that, hey, I allow this, you just need to be transparent.
Correct.
And that's what I like to defend for the motion on our side of things.
Wait,
But
so you're
why
just
would
saying
I let the company...
people are going to do it either way. So we might as well just normalize it.
We must, in a sense, make it guidelines in the office where everyone can follow. Just be transparent.
Yes.
How can you set guidelines for dating? How?
Yeah.
Like what?
Declare.
For
lah.
example, you have to declare you are dating.
Yeah, go to your HR
Declare,
every other
uh-huh.
month and say, hi, actually, we are considering.
Don't
of
you
it."
think it's a waste of resource by having somebody just sit
HR needs
there
to do
and
something. She
declare-
can't just sit in her office.
It's true.
That
HR is already
is-
there. They're
HR
already
part,
fulfilling
I
that
agree,
function.
but I feel
Then you
that
agree,
dating,
then done lah.
HR need to do something, I agree, but I don't think relationships can be defined or people are going to be willing to follow
Yeah.
certain rules. It does not make sense because relationships are different. They are not a work. It's not like I ask you to do this debate and then you list down your
You
responsibilities.
see, when the HR knows that both of you are dating, they can do intervention measures. For example,
example.
okay, if you guys want to date, can I separate you guys from departments so I know that you guys will never
So
cross
someone's
an
work
inter-
has to sacrifice lah.
Yeah.
That's what you're saying.
Yes.
It's not a sacrifice. It's just working
Changes
around.
And
are
even
being
if
made
it
for
sacrifices,
department.
how does it affect normalizing workplace in the industry?
Changes are being enforced.
It's your
Yeah.
priority in a relationship. Okay, if this is the case, this is the measures that we have to be transparent about, then can I prioritize what we would prefer? Then they get to
Okay.
make a decision because they're transparent with each other and also their bosses and not keeping things in secret.
But why do we
Imagine
have-
two people dating in secret in the same department and then things go sour and your
That's
project
so
then stuck.
fun,
Then
isn't
just
it?
don't date
It's
your co-worker.
fun, but it's
Then you
not
don't have to date in
ideal.
secret.
Humans are humans, they will still do it.
It results in a bad productivity for the company
Why?
because. Guess it's just because. Oh, who's that?
How
Normalization
many?
reduces panic and workplace drama. Right now, people panic when they find out about people dating, okay? Because it's seen as a taboo. But that's only because it's not normalized. 50 years ago, an unmarried woman over 30 was heavily judged. Today, she is
Yeah.
seen as an independent, successful woman. Society norms evolve, and so should our perception of workplace dating. So when
She really
something is
likes you.
normalized, it stops being a big deal and people can focus on their work instead of whispering about who's dating what.
Sometimes it's not just about the work and what kind of input and output that comes out of it. Sometimes it's a matter of image and prestige that you present to the members of public. How many great ministers have we lost to relationships that happen in secrecy at the workplace? Normalizing
No, I'm
it
so
would have
sorry.
made it
Wait,
even
that
worse.
only happened because those were affairs.
Yeah.
But if it was not an
Cheating.
affair, they wouldn't have been
Aren't
cancelled.
affairs also a type of relationship? I'm
true.
so sorry.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's
I
not
agree
just a
with
matter of
that.
output, it is a matter of image you present to the public.
Yep.
And such like a government institute, we cannot.
Because
Yes,
the image you're
yes.
presenting
Normalize
in that case is
Yes.
a cheating husband,
Yes.
an unfaithful
Yeah.
lover.
But I guess
Which Ellie has a great point on cheating itself. Good point.
yeah, exactly. So first of all, if you date in a workplace, you guys have shared interests. Also, you have understanding of work stress, which they covered. Never mind. You have convenient time together, and also you have common social circles. Workplaces often create a social network that can strengthen your relationship, and you grow together. You support each other in professional growth and development. You have shared experiences because you go through the trauma together. You know how shitty your boss is. That's why you guys bond, and also it's increased happiness. If the relationship is positive, it can enhance overall job satisfaction and happiness.
Yeah.
Also,
Point.
there is
But
a
it's
support
starting to
system.
sound like the
Having a-
relationship that she's building in her mind is completely just reliant on the workplace and all the experiences within the workplace. And the moment people leave these jobs is when the relationship might fall apart. So the quality of the relationship might actually suffer from such strong experiences built within the workplace.
They might, like every other relationship that starts. But if you start it in the workplace, you actually have the opportunity to build a stronger foundation because of all these things. Also, there is increased communication. Dating can lead to better communication both personally and professionally.
How does that even-
And there's also networking opportunities. A relationship with a co-worker may open up new professional connections. There's work-life balance. If you both work in similar fields, you may develop a better balance between work and personal life. There's mutual motivation as well because you have a shared work ethic that can motivate both partners to perform better. And you have complementary skills. Each partner may bring different skills to the table, enriching both
but
personal
what
and
about
professional
mitigating
dynamics.
sexual harassment claims?
It's
Okay,
true.
That's not dating.
In a relationship, you can hook up, but then in the future, when you guys break up, you've changed your mind about what an incident had happened 5-6 years ago. The workplace becomes the point of contention, becomes the point of crime.
Repeat. Sorry.
So, for example, you and I are dating right now. Okay, and then we are hooking up.
Okay.
6 months later, we break up, and then you decide to change your mind. What 6 months ago was like, and that incident we have with the intimacy is something you want to then claim sexual harassment. The workplace then becomes a point of.
The workplace will
not
never
relevant
suffer.
if you have
Zero.
in your workplace or not. Even if you guys dated outside of workplace and then she claimed that you raped her 6 years ago, you still have to fight for yourself in
Exactly,
court.
which is what I'm saying. Not normalizing dating.
It's irrelevant, what?
What are you talking about?
Yeah, because then your point will be like,
But-
wait, are we against or what? We are for. Yes.
Yeah,
Normalizing
which is
because-
why
because-
you're confusing
Because
your
dating
position right now.
outside of workplace is normalized, right? Correct,
Well,
right?
yeah,
So
yes,
it's the same
yes.
one. We are
But you don't want to
normalizing
normalize this because it can lead to very unprofessional behavior also. If the relationship turns sour, it can lead to people shouting over the office, or even on a positive note, what if there's a lot of PDA within the office space and people are unhappy about this as well? It creates an environment where other people are affected by the
No, but that
relationship in the
boils
workplace.
down to
And
the
it makes it difficult for
individuals and how
people to do their
professional
jobs,
they are.
and it can lead
Yeah.
to
If
really
they are unprofessional, they will carry out all these. Okay, please go ahead.
And also, it can lead to a place where the reputation of the company is affected if it allows for this office romance to happen when it's so frowned upon in society at the moment. So the moment you hear of, if you just do a simple Google search about romance in the workplace, right, most of the hits that come up first, right, the highest SEOs are going to be the articles about how it's bad and it's negative. This is already telling about the sentiment people have about office romance, and that it's something that affects the reputation of not just the company but the people who are engaging in office romances. So the example that I gave you earlier on about the
They should talk so long.
the day-
You're so
about dating that happened in the workplace, right? Everyone else in the company was actually very affected by the relationship that this person had after they broke up and dated somebody else in the office space.
Wow.
And the colleagues that they had were all very affected by it.
Story got twists and turns.
And
I feel so
they
cheated.
were very uncomfortable about this, even leading to people leaving because of this. Yes.
Yeah, people are going to leave companies anyway.
yes,
So
not
they're
because
just looking for
somebody's
an
dating somebody. That's
excuse.
just an excuse.
And I think one of the very key points that I want to highlight is how imbalanced that office romances can cause, because
I talked about it
people have
already.
authority and hierarchy within
Talked about
office
already.
space, and it can be difficult to maintain healthy relationships if there is hierarchy. So it can be feeling pressure to date because of that,
Already.
or also just feeling
Mentioned already.
being biased about it,
She's just
or
wasting time.
no, whoa. You're being really rude right now. I feel like this is definitely not an environment that is suitable. So you can see from her flirting earlier on, right? This creates a lot of tension and it's very unhealthy
because
for
now you're
just working
disappointing
together.
her, right?
Highly.
Yeah, that's because
It's
she's
just-
she.
So, but anyway, bringing it back to the point of less likely to cheat.
Yep.
There is a thing called work wife or work husband. Have you guys heard of that?
Oh
and
my
if
God,
we
such a great point.
normalize working,
Why?
the work,
You got work wife
dating in
and
the
work
workplace,
husband.
there will be no like work wife, work husband
Exactly.
situation because your wife is literally there or your husband is literally there. That's your
Exactly.
actual husband or wife.
But the work wife or work husband connotation, it does not relate
Does
at
not
all
mean
to
that.
relationships. Yeah, it just means the person that you are closest to in
Which
the
is
office.
damn annoying, by the way.
no, it's just
Whoa.
less likely to cheat. And a lot
Why?
of people
You feel
do tend
targeted?
to have
Did
affairs
something happen?
in the workplace because
I
you are
wish.
given a lot of opportunities to get closer to someone of the opposite sex that you work with. And if your wife or your husband is there, then the chances of you cheating is less likely because
And
how
you
can
also
cheat
don't
when your
want to
partner's
encourage
there?
people snooping around the office and having relationships with each other. If you normalize this, it's going to encourage this behavior and it's going to create more
How do you
tension.
know?
If you normalize this, actually you will reverse that because banning something makes it more desirable. People are natural rebels. The more you forbid something, the more they want to do it. History proves it. When the US banned alcohol during that era, did people stop drinking? No, they just found illegal ways to do it, giving rise to mafias and illegal stuff. So by forbidding workplace romance, we're not stopping it. We are making it more exciting, secretive,
Exciting.
and risky, leading to unnecessary drama and bizarre behaviors.
I see.
Also, if you work together, it can lead to creative collaborations or work projects. Also, a romantic relationship can foster a deep sense of trust and respect. And also, if you're both
Yeah,
on the
it's
same
true.
team, it can strengthen team dynamics. Also, in a workplace
okay.
setting, you may better understand each other with your non-verbal communication. And also, shared work experiences can create unique memories that deepen the bond. Also, Also, if it's a supportive relationship, it may lead to professional growth opportunities.
I think
and a
I wanna
relationship
talk
may
about-
foster loyalty to each other
Hey, she
and
wanna
the
talk about- she wanna
company's
talk about-
I
favor.
do want to
In the
talk about one
company's
thing
favor.
that we haven't mentioned about yet. So when it comes to relationships, I think we're talking about dating a lot. But what about more serious relationships like marriages? And when it comes to marriages that turn sour and people break up, the divorce and the legal actions that come with that are just a whole other ball game. And there's going to be so much trouble that comes with that. It's very undesirable for the company. It's going to affect productivity a lot if the company has to handle something that involves legal action as well. And this really does come down to when a divorce happens between couples, and if it's normalized that we have married couples in the same company, or we allow people to get into relationships that can eventually lead to marriage, then this can bring up more problems in the future.
Married couples at the workplace also pose a suffering on the children.
How?
Because where does work start and family begins? When you are married couples in a workplace. The children go home to not just his parents, but his colleagues.
Yep.
And then this
the
will
children go
also
back to his
include
colleagues?
into the rate of suicide.
The children go back to his colleagues.
Because what's going to happen is that the mom and dad are going to be talking about work all the time, and the child is going to...
I feel like they're just running on assumptions right now. I mean, if we clock off, my husband and I pick up the child and let's go, babe.
Parents! They go home, the parents will talk about work. I want my mommy and daddy. But then the parents just, where does work and family begin? The child suffer and then the child will suicide.
I feel like, no, first of all, no, I don't think they'll go home and continue talking about work. But even if they do, let's say if I dated Ling Yi and I don't work in a
Then
company,
y'all be
if I
talking
go
about
home,
this shoot, right?
I'll ask her about her work. It's just,
And everything that you discussed
Part of
on this
being
shoot.
huh?
Yeah. So
They're crazy.
I think don't lah.
I think just try lah.
Don't.
Just try.
The children will suffer.
And then divorce, and then they kill themselves. Never mind lah.
And then
Children
what
very
if
expensive.
the kids will never want to be a functional member of society. He doesn't want to work anymore because he thinks the workplace is where toxic
it's true.
families
No,
begin.
maybe you want to go because you want to go work because it's like maybe that's where I meet my wife, the love of my life.
You normalize it.
Yeah.
Sorry, babe. When you normalize dating, you can
Everything is better.
No,
She's
people
got a point.
enough.
Wait, she's got a point. Give her a second.
And then some more y'all can have sex and then discuss work at the same time. It's like, how about that project that is due tomorrow?
So
Oh, yes, babe,
terrible
I'm finished already.
Wait, she has a point. Quick.
And right after you come, right, your endorphins,
we
your
give her 10
hormones,
seconds, ah.
and then that's where you think
can
better.
lead to a lot of
And
harassment.
immediately.
As for this debate, there's no winner.
Huh? Why?
Wow. Hey, I like that very much. Yes, well done.
So you want to date, don't lah, whatever.
I guess they can't decide, honestly.
Why?
Yeah.
Orion, let's get going.
Ciao, let's go. Thanks for watching. If you're dating your co-worker, I mean, have fun lah. If you're dating your boss, even better. Get that promotion, girl. All right, we hope you enjoyed this one. Comment, like, subscribe, share, all the other stuff. Let us know what you want to hear us debating about next, and we'll see you on the next talk show, hopefully, all of us. Yay, bye!